Hello everybody and welcome to the Homestead's Facebook page and YouTube channel. Today I wanted to discuss with you using wood chips as mulch in your garden. So there's a lot of debate right now as to whether wood chips are a positive or a negative for perennial and annual gardens. But I'm going to try to clear some of that up for you so you can make up your own minds and decide. First, I'm going to discuss some of the benefits. So, when you use wood chips, as you can see in this bed here in front of us, I've added some wood chips there fairly recently in the last month or so. You can see that the wood chips and the bark vary in size. So that does a couple of things for you. It allows water to penetrate because the soil is not compacted. If you step on it and walk across it, it's going to compact and the soil is going to run off the top and find softer substrate to go into. So wood chips, because of their diversity and range in size, it allows for less compaction and allows water to sift right through and into your soil. And again, because of the diversity of different types of wood that you're going to have in there and bark, it allows different soil organisms to thrive. And the wood itself is going to break down at differing rates. So that's going to allow more types of organisms to exist in your soil environment. I'm just going to come over here. So another couple of benefits that I've found, um, well, the wood chips themselves are going to contain minerals that are going to support plant growth in your garden. So there's magnesium, phosphorus, calcium, trace amounts of zinc, and even iron sometimes in some samples they found. So that's a host of different minerals that your plants are going to need. Another big one that's in there is calcium, believe it or not. So that's another thing that your leafy greens are really going to enjoy. But as I mentioned at the start, it's kind of up for debate. So I found, doing some research, I found two different doctors just off the top of my head that had conducted their own research into whether or not this stuff was a positive. And one fellow says that it's negative because if the wood chips are new, like these ones are, then they're actually going to host a lot of fungus, and that um, will absorb your nitrogen, which your plants need. So fungal growth requires nitrogen just like your veggies do and your perennials do. So he says that it's a bad idea to use wood chips in your garden as it may lead to nitrogen deficiency. But then I found another doctor who conducted the exact same research, and she said that fungal growth in your garden is actually really positive. And that's been my experience so far, and that's why I thought that I'd share this video. The fungal growth in the garden can act as a communication network for your plants. So the fungus thrives in different layers, as I mentioned, due to the diversity of wood and wood chip sizes and types of wood. There's going to be different funguses that are growing at different levels, and that attaches to your roots, or your roots will grow and attach to that. And it's actually been shown that that can aid in mineral uptake, which is a great natural boost for your plants. So these wood chips are free. Another reason why I'm showing this video is you want to use things that are readily available in your area, and the cheaper the better. This stuff was free. A lot of this is wood chips from hardwood that I cut up um, getting our wood together for the winter. So this was just scraped off the driveway, and I used this spot. It covered roughly 4 by 6 feet, and this is about 2 to 3 inches deep, depending on the area that we're looking. It's not exactly level, but so another couple benefits of wood chips are that it's going to stop soil erosion, so it's going to keep all your soil in one spot. You don't have to worry about it running off into the pathways, and it's going to retain moisture. So this soil is a little bit sandy, and I've decided to focus on this wide and long row here to try to amend the soil. This section is kind of sandy, so keeping it moist, it was a difficult job this year. And you know, with just your natural rain, 2 inches minimum, but I recommend more than that. It's going to retain the moisture in the soil as well, so that's really great. Okay, so another benefit that I thought I forgot to mention, fairly obvious one actually, is that wood chips, you can see we've used along the side of the house here for this more decorative garden. It is going to really do a number on your weeds. I think maybe I weeded this garden once this year, and if you take a close look, you can see that throughout the whole thing here, there's really no weeds at all. Another positive, you know what, I just explain this really quickly. This is the second year that I've applied wood chips as mulch to this garden. So underneath this top layer, there's a secondary layer that we put on last spring. If you just dig down just below the surface, I mean, you can really see that this soil looks extremely healthy. I mean, that's a quarter of an inch deep, right? So as we continue down, you can really kind of see that this soil is a beautiful dark color, which speaks of nutritional value for your plants. And this is only maybe 2 or 3 inches down. I've applied 5 or 6 inches twice now, and it really has broken down really quickly and has created some fantastic soil. And you can see here that I planted some grapes, and this is their first year, and they've taken off and they're doing pretty well. I'd say for the most part it looks like a healthy plant, other than the little bites out of it from all our little parasitic type of insects. But another benefit that I forgot to mention was earthworm castings. So people will spend a ridiculous amount of money on castings that the earthworms, basically their defecation is loaded with nutrients. They crawl through the earth, consuming organic matter and turning it into soil, and that soil is jam-packed with nutrients. So wood chips, if you lay them out, you're going to find within a few months, if you dig in one spot, that you're going to find a whole lot of earthworms in there. So that's free fertilizer for you if you can get a hold of this stuff for no money at all. Most dumps will carry it as a free service. If you can drive and pick it up, you can have it. But you know, some people purchase this stuff and have it delivered. But you know, right away you're going to start to see some benefits from this stuff. So to finish off the video here, I just wanted to show you what I've been doing. I kind of have always believed that there's no absolute truth. With the 2 different studies I read, one claimed that they were wood chips were positive, and one claimed that they were negative. So I'm going to play it safe. I put this stuff down this year. These are new wood chips. So the way I'm going to deal with this is I'm going to amend my soil for basically no cost as well. Coffee grounds are filled with nitrogen, and if you're worried about your nitrogen levels dropping off, then it's pretty simple to just grab a handful of this stuff and spread it out. This is a small amount, just a couple days worth of coffee grounds here, but if I spread this out over the top nice and evenly, and I'm going to continue to do that until snowfall, then that guarantees that there's nitrogen readily available for everything, for the plants, the fungus, and other things. I'll just show you over here. So this year through the garden, I created another video which explained basically that all the trails are 18 inches to 2 feet deep, 1.5 to 2 feet deep of mulch. This was a wet spot, and I trenched it out as far as I could go down, and then filled it up with mulch to have clear trails and to allow the water to be retained in the garden, but also so that it wasn't collecting in any spots like it was the previous season. But I thought I'd just show you excuse me, over here. It might be hard to make out, but these black things are actually mushrooms. So there is fungal growth going on in the wood chips, and you'll find in the late spring and through the summer that every time you get a good rain and then it's warm and humid for a few days afterwards, you'll have these popping up. It's no big deal. I'm not sure exactly what type of mushrooms these are. I don't harvest mushrooms that are growing in the wood chips, as they can be toxic, but it's not going to affect your plants. Basically what's happening is this fungus is consuming the wood, the organic matter, and breaking it down further so that it can be used by other plants. And that's basically the whole deal right there. That's part of the reason that I put this stuff down, is so that it can be broken down and turned into free soil, free fertilizer. Here are the rest of the wood chips from cutting up the wood, the winter wood this year. And I cut the grass today, which is also loaded with nitrogen and other minerals that are positive, and I'm just going to continue to sprinkle that on the top. And again, play it safe, believe the kind of middle ground of both studies, and provide some nitrogen for the wood chips in case they are going to be detrimental, which I really don't believe they are. You can see this is the perennial garden over here. All these perennial plants were planted this year, and every one of them did fantastic. I basically just took hardwood chips and placed them right on top of the grass, and you can see the rest of the area that's fenced in. That's all going to be covered in wood chips and leaf mulch and whatever free organic materials I can get my hands on. But so this stuff, I guess maybe quickly we'll just show you. This stuff here was put down in the early spring before planting the vegetable gardens, so early May. And again, this is maybe half an inch down. You can see that the composition is still mostly wood chips, but very damp, retaining the moisture as is planned. And as we go down further, you know, now we're down 2-3 inches. This stuff is really starting to break down, and here is actually the soil line where the grass was. So really I put down about 5 or 6 inches, a good coverage, because I knew it would settle, and this has settled down really well. And you know, it's only been a few months and it's already turning into soil. And again, you can see that the plants in here have done well. The apple trees have taken off and really put on some girth this year, doubled the thickness of their stalk, and you know, between 12 and 20 inch shoots developed on every branch, so they all extended their branches fairly well. But anyways, yeah, that's about it for today. I don't think there's much more I could tell you. This stuff, I believe, works wonders for your garden, and it's an easy fix if you're worried about nitrogen levels, which most people are adding nitrogen to their gardens anyways. So if you found some value in this video, or you learned something you didn't know, you could like and share it for me. I'd appreciate that. And if you'd like to keep up with us and you know, continue to watch our videos, and hopefully we can teach you some new things, you could hit the subscribe button. I'd appreciate that as well. Hope everybody's having themselves a great day. Happy Friday. Have a great weekend, everybody.